Hey everyone, in this video I wanted to highlight why everyone is talking about Nvidia stock, and it stems from its remarkable performance in its fiscal Q2 2024. So let's jump right into the results here. In the second quarter, Nvidia generated 13.5 billion in revenue, which was up 88% from the previous quarter and 101% from the same quarter last year. That's phenomenal growth. If you recall, the previous few quarters for Nvidia had not been so great in terms of revenue performance. The company was actually experiencing revenue decreases year over year. And then came the boom driven by artificial intelligence, partly as a result of the rising effectiveness of large language models like the one you see in ChatGPT. Those require a lot of computing power, which Nvidia helps with its graphic processing units. And so demand absolutely exploded for Nvidia, and now it's starting to show in the results. Not only did revenue increase 101% year over year, that was above what management was even expecting, and it was already expecting a really big boost from demand in the current quarter. It was expecting 11 billion in revenue. It actually generated 13.5 billion. So an extra 2.5 billion in sales that the company was not expecting. So absolutely phenomenal quarter for Nvidia, and you can begin to understand why so many market participants are talking about Nvidia stock. Like I mentioned, this is driven primarily by accelerating demand from cloud service providers and large consumer internet companies for their HGX platform, which is the engine of generative AI and large language models. That's what's driving this performance. A couple of years ago, Nvidia had a similar boom in customer demand, but that was driven by another part of its business, the gaming segment, which also includes demand from cryptocurrency miners. Remember, in 2020, 2021, cryptocurrency prices absolutely exploded, and that drove demand for Nvidia's products, its GPUs, for the purpose of mining cryptocurrencies. And now another part of its business is booming, driving demand for its graphic processing units. Okay. I think that goes to show how effective its products are and the different use cases possible for NVIDIA's GPUs. So management goes on to say there is tremendous demand for NVIDIA accelerated computing and AI platforms. Their supply partners have been exceptional in ramping capacity to support their needs. That's been the other side of the equation, right? During the pandemic, we realized like several companies experienced a surge in demand for their products, but they were unable to fulfill that demand because of supply shortages and the inability to ramp up production. So demand soared, but they were capped. They couldn't go up higher to meet that demand. This is another part of Nvidia's business that's proving to be so effective is demand soared. It was able to rise up to meet that challenge, to meet the demand, and able to generate this kind of revenue growth instead of telling investors demand exploded for our products, but we weren't able to increase supply fast enough to meet that demand, which is not as useful as being able to meet that demand. And so because of this surging demand, Nvidia expects to increase supply each and every quarter through next year. So they're not only have they ramped up already, but they continue to plan a ramp increasing to fulfill this surge for its products. So great news for Nvidia stock investors, and I'm not surprised that so many people are talking about Nvidia stock. So thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.